things were moving along nicely at my job at Cessna Aircraft Company. I had three people working for me. Gary Lowe was one of them. Tom Derber was another, and Robert Hinderleiter was a third one. Robert was an Air National Guard pilot. He flew B-57s, the old Canberra British-designed airplane, out of the Topeka Air Force Base. And gradually, I got to be in charge not of just fatigue analysis and fail-safe analysis on the new jet, but for all the fleet, all the airplanes that were the business airplanes that Cessna built at that time. And this happened because the Australian authorities suddenly became concerned at the fact that wings were falling off American-built airplanes because there was not sufficient surveillance and testing and so on. And one day the boss came to me and he said, do you know what the Hayward curve is? And I did. It's a textbook, a British textbook on fatigue analysis. So I was then elected to go represent the company at a meeting in Washington, D.C., which I just thought was terrific, you know. And things were moving along nicely on the domestic side as well. With my first paycheck, we rented a little two-bedroom house in a kind of a semi-industrial area, and it was $80 a month. My second paycheck, we went to the furniture store and bought furniture on credit, a couch, a bed, a chair, and a color TV even, which in 1969 was not that common. This is a 27-inch color TV. And when I told the boys at work about that, they were like, "What? You're just fresh off the boat? You have color TV?" He said, "We're coming over this weekend because this weekend was the moon landing." You know, they said, "We're coming over to your house." Yeah. And also, I bought an old Chevy and for $200, and I traded that later for a Volvo. We went looking around for a better car, and this dealer told us, "Oh, they've got one of them little Datsun things over the other site, you know." And it's a stick shift. God knows why you would want that, but it's a stick shift. So we went over there, and it was a Volvo. And the Volvo's a high-dollar car in Europe, you know. So I was very impressed with that. The Volvo wagon, 1 year old, 24. Strangely, it was the same price as the Mustang I'd failed to buy, $2,450, 1 year old. And I said, "Well, I've got to get rid of this Chevy too." And he took a look at that from the office. He didn't go out to the curb. And he said, "Well, it's got some hail, you know. I can't give you a lot for it. I'll give you $350. Well, I only gave $200 for it, so I thought that was great, you know. But then things started to change. My English wife, Pauline, decided she did not like it here in Wichita and Kansas, and by inference, the USA. And she decided she was going to go home to England. And I told her, I said, "Now, wait a minute, you know, we've got it made here, you know. You have forgotten what it's like to wait in the rain for the bus, you know." But she was not to be dissuaded, and she got herself a ticket and went home to England. And pretty soon I met this beautiful young bank teller at the bank. She was from North Carolina, and beautiful brown hair, beautiful brown eyes, and just a laugh that just intrigued me, you know. And yes, from then on, things started to change. Thank you.